Welcome to Fitzy's Fabulous Scrapbooks. I'm Michelle Fitzgerald, aka Fitzy, and I'm an independent advisor for Creative Memories Scrapbooking, and I'm here to help you make your scrapbooks fabulous. So today I'm really excited to show you all the Scrap Happy 2 project recipe. Whoa! I have heard from many of you that you really like to do project recipes, and I did do one a few weeks back for Tropic Time and thought I'd do this next one with the Scrap Happy 2 collection. It's a lot of fun. I'm really excited about it. So let's get down to my workspace here and take a little look-see. So one thing I want to point out that was very exciting, I'm in about 3 photos on the advertising for this collection, so it was kind of fun. But if you look here, that's me right there smack dab in the middle. This picture was taken at our Creative Minds conference in Minnesota back in June, and we had so much fun. And so some of this is pretty much my teammates here. My uplines over here, a couple of my downline are here, and other friends. And I have 2 pacing partners, and they're both in this picture with me. So it was a lot of fun. And it was even more fun to see us on the promotional items for it. So that was fun. Thank you, CM. All right. In case you have been wondering, I don't think I've ever been on a promotional item before, so that was quite an honor. All right, so let's take a look to see what I have already created. Here is the recipe, and we're using that new scissor punch to get this effect here. Very fun to use, and you're going to get to see it. So if you want to play along, I'm not going to do the same exact papers that I did on this one, but I'm going to do the same exact layout. Okay. So these 2 papers here are going to be my base pages, and I'm going to put them to the side for now, because I don't need them until I am ready to adhere everything. And then I am going to use, I'm still going to use the same blue cardstock that I used here. And I'm so I used this purple paper before, and now I'm going to use the back side. So here's the purple. For this layout, I'm going to use this back side, and look at this paper. It has pretty much all of our tools on it. So there's, I love, they have the border maker system. Here's the paper guide. Here's the housing unit. Here are some tape runners, the corner rounder, a cover set. Here's our 12-inch trimmer. It's so cute. Oh, and here's the personal trimmer here, and here's some punches. Look at the punch. So I don't know. This is just such a fun pack. And then I'm also going to use this orangey color. It's kind of like a peachy orange. And on the back side is blue and white shutterflies, but I'm not going to use this side. I am going to use the orangey side. All right. So 5 papers in all, 2 base pages, and 3 pieces to cut, including 1 piece of cardstock. So let's get the tools that you're going to need. And of course, like most of our projects, we need our 12-inch trimmer. If you have the scissors punch, we'll be using that today. If you're doing something different, I would recommend using a standalone border punch that does not stay attached to the paper. I hope that makes sense. I would have my micro tip scissors handy, your repositionable tape runner. We'll also be using the smallest circle pattern with the red and the blue blades. And you're also going to need a pencil and some Post-it notes and if you have your multi-purpose tool, I don't think I used it for anything on this layout, but just in case, you never know. All right. So I'm going to kind of pull these over to the side. And maybe we can leave like one page showing. And just get my act together here. So this is the page we're creating. And when we do a project recipe, they label things with letters, and sometimes I find it confusing. So as I cut things, I'm just going to tell you to either put things to the right or put things to the left. Oh, I don't think I attached that onto my page. Did I forget? Oh, I forgot to attach that circle. I'll fix that later. But as I cut, I'm going to say, put this to the left, put this to the right, and up here will be anything extra that we're not using on the layout. All right. So hopefully that makes it a little less confusing. All right. So this is our cutting guide here. And I am going to start with this cool little page of CM tools. I think it's always fun. And what I'm going to do is put this in my trimmer vertically. And I am going to cut this at 3 inches. So let me just get that in there. All right. And I'm going to cut, and I just want to think about this one for a second because I did not use a directional paper before. Let's just see. I think we can cut this the same way. So I'm going to go ahead and do it. We'll see what happens. Hopefully it cuts in the right direction. All right. So, and again, I'm cutting at 3 inches. So we have 2 3-inch strips here. And then my next cut is going to be at the 5-inch mark. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut here at 5 inches. I hope everybody is doing well today. I'm going to turn and rotate this piece, and I'm going to, oops, I need to pull out my arm. And I'm going to cut this at 6.5 inches. All right. And so this 6.5 inch piece, I'm going to put to the right. Now, this little piece here, this strip is extra. So I'm going to put that up here. And I'm still working on these 3 pieces. So I'm not going to tell you where to put them just yet. Just hold them to the side. All right. So now I'm going to put my trimmer aside. Don't put it away because you're still going to need it. Oh, and one thing I did forget too, you also are going to need your 13-inch mat or a ruler. All right. So I am going to take one of these 3-inch strips and I'm going to line it up on my mat. And now I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to make a mark at the 7 3/4 inch mark. So I just want to make sure I have this on my mat correctly. And I'm just going to make a pencil mark at 7 3/4 inches, enough so I will see it. Now I'm going to take my second strip and I'm going to flip it. So I'm on the back side. But I also want to make sure that I have everything going the correct way. So I don't want it to be upside down like this. I want to make sure that it is right side up and then flip it. And now I'm also going to mark this piece at the 7 3/4 inch mark. All right. Now I am going to come over and keep this piece handy because we're going to do something with this in a minute. But let's do our punching first. So I'm going to take my first strip and I'm going to line it up so that my pencil mark that I just put on is lined up with the black mark on the left side of the punch. All right. And I'm going to hold this up just to make sure that you can all see that. See my pencil mark? It's lined up with that black mark on the front of the punch. All right. I'm going to put this back down and line it up again because I knew I wasn't going to be able to hold it. And now I'm going to go ahead and punch all the way to the end, making sure that I line the pattern up that I'm cutting over the blue pattern that's on the tray. All right. So now I'm going to have a piece that looks like this. And I'm going to just take those little scraps and get them out of the way. And now I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with my second sheet. I'm going to line the pencil mark up to the black mark on the front that's on the left side of my punch. And I'm going to go ahead and punch. And as I go, I'm going to continue to cover the blue pattern on the little tray here. All right. So let me get rid of these scraps. This is a fun one, but there were a couple of little tricky things, and I'll show you when we get to the really tricky part, because I was a little dumbfounded for a few minutes. Okay, and that worked out beautifully. So see, when I flip it over, now I have this going this way, this going this way, and they're all, everything's right side up, okay? Now I'm going to take my scissors and come over to my little punch here. And if I have any little doodads, I'll call them, sticking up out of the paper, I'm just going to trim them off. And then I just want to trim my scissors. So I'm just going to go in and just give them a quick little trim. Like so, just to get that little extra thingy off. All right, so here's one. And now I'm going to go in and do the same thing with this piece. But see how when you punch, sometimes you get these little nodules. So you can just trim those off. They're teeny tiny. So you could probably leave them on and nobody would notice. But because I would know, I don't know if anybody else is like that, but if I know it, I just got to get rid of it or it will drive me crazy. Oops. And then I'm just trimming these little pieces off here to make it look more like scissors. All right. So just take a minute to do a little trimming. All right. So now this one is going to go to the left and this one's going to go to the right. Now we're going to come over here to this little paper here, and we are going to take our red blade in the small circle. We're going to use the inside track. And I just want to make sure I keep it on the paper, but trying not to cut too deep in the paper. This is good. All right. So we have this big circle here, and that is going to go over to the right. And then I'm going to make two circles with the inside track and the blue blade. So we'll make one. And then we will make the second one. All right. And these two are going to go over to the left. All right. The rest of this is extra, so we're going to put it up top. All right. So one of our decorative sheets is now cut. I'm going to put all of this to the side because we're going to need it all again. And now we're going to go on to our second designer piece, which is our orangey toned paper. And we are going to start pretty much the same way. We are going to cut at the 3-inch mark. So there's one. And then we're going to move this over a little bit further and cut it 3 inches again. All right, so I have those 2 strips, and again, we're going to hold off for a few minutes because there's still something else I need to do with it. But we're going to bring this sheet over and we're going to cut at 5 inches. And we're going to turn this, rotate it, and cut at 6.5 inches. Right. And you know what? I think I forgot to cut something on this one. So hold on one second. I just want to see. Oh, that's right. Oh, I know it. So this is my 6.5. We're doing it right. This piece is going to go over here to the left. And this piece now, this piece is extra. So we're going to put that up top. And now this piece we are going to cut at 3 inches. Don't you hate it when you just kind of zone out sometimes? All right, and this is going to get cut at the 4-inch mark. This little piece here is extra, and this piece is going to go to the right. This piece we still have to do some cutting with, so we're going to leave that here. And now we're going to repeat what we did the first time. All right, so let's take our 2 strips. Trying to clear off some of the little scrappy things that are here. So we're going to put this on the mat and we're going to line it up at the 7 3/4 inch mark. And then this one, we're going to flip it. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to line it up at, put a little mark at the 7 3/4 inch mark. And now we're going to come back to our punch. And we are going to line up our pencil mark to the black mark on the front of the punch to the left-hand side. And now we're going to punch. All right, here's one. And we're just going to get rid of those scraps. And now we're going to do the same thing to our second piece here. So line your pencil mark up with the left-hand side black mark on your punch and punch. All right. And keep that punch out because we still have one more piece we're going to be cutting with it. All right. And now we're just going to go back and we're going to trim like we did before, just to get rid of all the little thingamadoodles. I'm using real techie terms here. All right. And we're just going to try to make this look like the end of the scissors. The microtip scissors make it so easy. All right, so there's one. And now we're just going to do our second one. And again, I just want to get rid of all these little extra. Oh, there was only one there. That's good. And make these look a little more like scissors. All right. So here we have our second sheet. So we're going to put this one to the left and this one to the right. And now we have this little sheet left. So we're going to come back to our circles. So we're going to take our small circle on the inside groove with the red blade and make one little circle. And then we are going to make two more little circles with the blue blade. All right, so we have our circles cut and we are good with these. We don't need these anymore, so we can put these away. The big circle is going to go over here to the left. And the two little circles are going to go over here to the right. And this is scraps. So we'll put that up to the top. All right, so now all we have left is our cardstock. So let's get, oops, I have a lot of little scraps there. I'm just going to move this out of the way. So this is going pretty quickly. Once you know how to read the instructions. And one tip I always would recommend is when you're looking at the cutting guide, the first number is where you start. So if it says a 3 by 12 inch strip, you know you're going to line up at the 3-inch mark and cut there. All right. So that's just kind of a good little rule of thumb if you're not familiar with doing project recipes. Now, on this one, we're doing it just a little differently. We are going to cut at the 1.5 inch mark. So line your cardstock up and cut at 1.5 inches. And then because we had so much fun doing that the first time, we're going to do it again. So line up at 1.5 inches. And one thing I always like to let people know is take your time to line things up, because if you do that, things will come out hopefully exactly the way you want it. Because sometimes I find when I rush, I don't quite get it done the way I would like it to be. All right, so now we're going to move over. So we have two 1.5 inch strips. We're just going to leave these right here for now because we have more to do with those. And now we're going to line up at the 1/2 inch mark. And I always try to do that to the right of my cut line because my paper, more of my paper will be on the trimmer and it gives it a little more support that way. So this is a 1/2 inch and we're cutting that once. And then we're going to go ahead and cut again at a 1/2 inch. So now we have two 1/2 inch strips and I'm going to put one on this side and one on that side. And now I'm going to go over to my 4-inch mark and cut at 4 inches. And then I just want to make sure that what's left is also 4 inches. And it looks like it is. So now I'm going to take these two pieces and I'm going to stack them. So I got two pieces here and I'm stacking them. I'm going to pull out the arm. Now, if you're not comfortable with stacking, you don't have to stack. I like stacking. It makes it quick and easy. We're going to cut at the 6-inch mark. And now I have 4x6 mats. I'm going to put 2 on this side and 2 on this side. And now I have these 2 1.5-inch strips left. So I'm going to put my trimmer to the side. I'm going to pull out my strip here. And now I'm going to line this up on my mat like I did with the other strips. And I'm going to make a mark at, you guessed it, 7 3/4 inches. That is the mark of the day. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the second one. Now, because this is cardstock, we don't have to flip it to get the right side to show because it's cardstock. So it's a little easier. However, the trickier thing now is when I go to put it into my punch, look at that. I can't see because it's not hanging out, right? So this is where my Post-it notes are going to come in handy. And it's funny. Sometimes I forget, I run out of Post-it notes and I don't have any here. So I have to just kind of improvise, but I have them here today. Or a sticky note anyway. So here is my pencil mark. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this paper, I'm lining it up right at the pencil mark. All right. So now, and it doesn't matter if it's straight or perfect up here. It doesn't even have to go up that high. But the key is you want it at the pencil mark. So now when you put it in, I know that when I put the white paper, when I put this whole thing in, the white paper needs to line up with that black mark. And now I can go ahead and punch. And remember, when you're punching cardstock, it's a little thicker. So you got to give it a little more energy in your punching or a little more muscle. So this is kind of a cool effect, right? Look at, we have this white and blue scissor thing, but you're just going to peel the white off like that. And now we have our blue scissors. All right. So now I'm going to take a second Post-it note and do the same thing with my second blue strip. And here is my pencil mark. So I'm just going to line it up like so. And then line this up. And just making sure that I'm covering that blue pattern on my little side tray here as I go and as I punch. And voila. And I'm going to peel that white off again. And now I have my blue scissors. All right, let me get rid of these scraps here just to get them out of the way. We are cruising now. All right. Now I can put the punch away. I will not be using that anymore for this layout. And I am going to trim my little scissors like I have done on all the others. All right, so there's one. And then and here's two. So we're going to put one to the right and one to the left. And I'm going to brush off all my little scraps here. And now I'm ready to start putting everything on my base pages. So let me move these out of the way. That over there. Now, stay with me on this because this is where it gets a little, what's a good word? Befuddling. Do you like that word? It took me a few minutes, but I did figure it out. But I looked and I said, why isn't this working? And you'll see what I mean in a second. So the first strip is the blue. So that's going to go down the bottom. And then our second strip is the orange. And then our third strip is our cool little tools. All right. And then one of our little 4x6 mats is going to go in this other rectangle that we cut. And our blue strip goes across the top like so. Now, if we look, and I'll try to hold this up close so you can see. Do you see how there's a lot of space between this rectangle with the photo on it and my scissors? Now look at my page. It doesn't fit, right? And if you look here, look at the 4x6 photo here, right? And it's again above the purple paper. And look at mine's going way down. So when I first did this, I said, oh my goodness, did Creative Memories do this wrong? Are their measurements incorrect? And then I realized if I'm looking, I'm going to pull these off. It's a little tricky. I'm just trying to see if I can find a bigger picture to show you. But if you look here, they're kind of, there's only one strip of each color. So there's one strip of purple, one strip of green, and one strip of blue. But down here, I've got two strips of the tools, two strips of the orange, and one strip of blue. So what needs to happen, and I might have to switch these out because I might have them on the wrong side. So I think we did. My blue has to go onto my orange. And then the orange has to go onto the tools like this. And see how it condenses everything down. And now everything is correct, right? So it took me a minute to figure that out. So let me show you again. We're going to take our blue piece and we're going to take a tape runner. And I'm going to tape runner down this whole piece. I want to make sure I get the edges of my scissors. All right. And now I'm going to line the bottom and the rectangular side right up with the orange paper. So now that goes together like that. All right. But we're not done yet, right? Because now we need to get this to cover this. So I'm going to do the same thing with my tape runner. Oops. Hopefully you can see that. And I'm just going to go down. And one thing I want to show you, when you're putting the tape runner on the punch part of it, always do it so you start at the side that's attached, because it's stronger and you're less likely to tear it than if you started going this way with it. So if I started here with my tape runner and worked down this way, there's much more likelihood of me tearing this paper. So I always like to work from here when it, calls for that kind of thing, just so you know. All right. So now I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm just going to line up. So I just want you to see here, I'm lining this up like so. And once I think it's where I want it, voila. And now I have my 3 pieces together. All right. So now I can go and tack this whole piece down. So let me put a little tape runner, and I think I'm just going to straighten it out a little teeny bit, just so it'll have it exactly how I want it. There. Good, good, good. All right. So now we're just going to tape runner everything now. This way. All right. So now I'm going to line the bottom part flush to the bottom and to the sides. And just take your time. All right. So there's one side. So now we're going to put my 4x6 mat on this larger mat. I think this is the 5 by 6.5 inch rectangle that we cut. And that's going to go there. This one's going to go here. And let's put some tape runner on this little 1/2 inch strip. And that's going to go at the top. Sorry if you're seeing my head. All right. And oops, where did my little circles go? Did I lose my circles? Oopsie. Well, they are here. I'll just have to, oh, I got them on this. Did I drop them? Well, I know you all saw me cut them out, so they're here. Oh, the mysteries. Okay. Oh, here they are. They dropped to the side. Look at that. Oops. I'm still missing one. All right. Well, I can always cut another one. But these are going to go here like so. And then we'll have another one right there. Did it fall? I'm thinking it might have fallen down that little back here. Let me just see. Nope, I don't see it. So I can easily cut another one. So we'll just do that real quick. It wouldn't be scrapbooking if I didn't lose something, right? Without fail, anytime I scrap, I lose something. Eventually it shows up, but sometimes it takes a while. All right, so that's going to go there like that. All right, So now let's do the second side, and we'll do that same little trick that we did with this side. So I'm just going to push this off here just to kind of give this more space. All right, so here are the 3 pieces. So the first thing I'm going to do is put some tape runner on my blue piece here. Sorry, I keep doing this off camera. I think I put my mat in the wrong place, so I'm gonna have to figure that out. I moved everything for my scrap weekend when I went down the Cape because I had to bring everything with me, and I'm still unpacking from that and from the event I went to in Maine, the training event. All right, and then this is going to go on that one. I just love this little technique. It's fun. Now I'm going to be putting this piece onto this paper, so I don't mind getting tape runner on that piece there. All right, and then I just want to straighten it out a little bit. Try it this way. Yeah, I think that's it. Good. All right, so now I can tape runner on all of this. I'm putting a lot on just because these are big pieces, and I just want to make sure that it doesn't fall off. And again, I'm going to line this up flush to the side and the bottom of the base page. And look at that. How cute is this? Are you guys loving this? I hope you are. It's a fun little layout, right? And now that you know how to handle the tricky parts, you should be able to just get through this really quickly. I think somebody asked before where you can find these. You do have to get them from an advisor. If you're interested in getting a project recipe kit, let me know. I will put one together for you. I usually include whatever papers you need and some embellishments. Oops, all right, well, let's make sure I didn't lose these circles. Aha, I did not. All right, so these 3 are going to go over here. Like so. And then now we're kind of doing that mirror image thing. So this 4x6 mat will go here. And then, oops. Put this on the 5x6.5 inch mat. And what's nice about the size is that gives you a little bit of room to journal under the photo, which is nice. And then I'm going to take this is just a 3x4 inch mat, and I'm going to put this like so here. Now this piece is blank. They don't show anything on the recipe, But you could put 2 of this size here. So it'd be 2 3x4-inch prints, or you could just do a 4x6 and that would work nicely. Or you can just leave it as is because maybe you like the decor and you don't have a lot of photos. But the nice thing about this layout is it can accommodate quite a few photos if you need it to. All right. So then you can just go to your embellishments and your stickers. And I think on my layout here, the first one that I did, here, let me attach these so that it's not so distracting, so you can see it. So the bigger circle kind of goes almost to the top of that little border there. Hopefully you can see that. And then I just put these little circles kind of at the bottom of that blue border. And on this side, instead of using, well, I actually have the big circle underneath this kind of shadowing. I think you can kind of see it on camera. There's just a little bit of a shadow underneath the sticker. It kind of worked out well. And then I did a foam square on this sticker. All right. But these are all stickers from the Scrap Happy 2 sticker pack. This is an embellishment from the embellishment pack. And this is also a sticker from the sticker pack. All right. So this is a really fun project recipe. I was really excited to do this one today. I hope you guys liked it. It was a fun one. And like I said, there were a few little tricky parts, but now you know how to navigate through them, which is great. So it'll make it a lot easier for you when you're creating it on your own. All right, let me get back to me. Hold on a sec. There I am. So that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed the project recipe. I hope everyone's doing well this week. Next week, if you haven't already registered and you're thinking about doing it, I will be one of the guest presenters on Creative Cafe International, also known as CCI. Somebody asked me if I was doing CSI, and no, I am not a forensics expert, so that will not be happening for me. I thought that was kind of funny. It is CCI, Creative Cafe International. I'll be teaching 2 classes, 1 major class and 1 mini class, or main class, I guess it is. So I hope you all enjoyed the project recipe today, and I hope that I'll see some of you on CCI, and I will still have a YouTube video coming out that weekend as well on Sunday, as always. And I think that's it. If you like this video, please hit the like button. If you like what you've seen on my YouTube channel, I would love for you to be a subscriber. So please feel free to subscribe. And if you would like to be more involved with myself and my team and the group that we scrap with, you can always join our Facebook group at FRQ Glitz Girls Scrapbooking Group. Answer, I think, 3 questions, and we will approve you to get in. We just need you to answer the questions so we know you're not a spammer or any crazy thing like that. It's nothing hard. And let me see what else. If you are looking to do something like what I do, or maybe you're just looking to get a discount on awesome Creative Memories products, I would love to help you with that. I help a lot of people with that, and I'd be happy to have a conversation and answer any questions you may have. Or if you think you're ready, I'd be happy to just sign you up. So whatever works. All right, I think, and I'm always looking for new clients. So if you think you would want to join me for one of my events, or if you think you are in the market for some product, please feel free to reach out to me. You can always get me at my email, which is fitzy'sfabulousScrapbooks@gmail.com. You can message me on Facebook Messenger. And I guess that's it. I hope everybody's having a wonderful week. It's actually not too bad here in Massachusetts. It's cloudy, but over the last week or so, it's been really warm. Today it's a little cooler, but overall, cannot complain about this winter. So fingers crossed that I didn't say things too soon. All right. So thanks everybody for joining and watching me, what we do here on my channel. I love doing this, and I love that people are so interested. It keeps me going. All right. So you all have a lovely week. Thanks again for watching, and bye for now.